All right. Guess I'm live. Uh, hey guys. Uh, Today I want to talk about something. These came out a while back, it's over a week ago, but I want to talk about them now because uh, I just wanted to gather my thoughts on them a little bit. But the 2020 Oscar nominations were released fairly recently, and I wanted to talk about my thoughts on the nominations. I'm going to go through each category and talk about what should have been there, what shouldn't be there, uh, all of the above, including who I think should win, who I think will win, because the Oscars are the most like predictable thing ever. But there are plenty of people that I think should get nominated, should win over other people. Anyway, let me get started with actor in a leading role. So there's Antonio Banderas, Pain and Glory. I never saw this movie, so I'm not 100% sure what his performance really was like, but I'm assuming it was good. Leonardo DiCaprio, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, that was a good performance. I think he was really great in it, but I think there are a lot of other people that should get nominated over him. And it's he kind of gets nominated every year, so it's really not a surprise. And I think it would be nice to give other people a chance. But he was good in that movie. I think he did a good job. Adam Driver, Marriage Story, easily I think my favorite performance of the entire year. Adam Driver was magnificent in this movie. I loved him. I think he did a fantastic job. He on conveying emotion, at hiding emotion, which is what all humans do. And so I really like what he did with this film. Marriage Story was a masterpiece, and he just elevated it to a whole new level. Joaquin Phoenix, Joker. This is a very easy one. It's really obvious that he's most likely going to win this. I'm like 95% sure. But Adam Driver also has a chance at this. But Joaquin Phoenix he did a good job in Joker, and I give him that. But he went just to this extreme extent that I feel he just didn't exactly need to go to. I mean, he did a great job. I think he did, but I think there are a lot more professional performances out there than this one. Jonathan Price, The Two Popes. I never saw The Two Popes. I do not know what it is. I'm not interested in really seeing it. I'm surprised it got as many nominations as it did. I mean, I assume he's fine in it, but come on, guys. The two I would probably take out are Jonathan Price and Antonio Banderas. I mean, I never saw either one of those, so maybe I'm just being biased. But I feel Taron Egerton for Rocket Man for sure should have been here. I mean, he won a freaking Golden Globe. I mean, he is a great actor. I think he definitely deserves some recognition for that role because he's fantastic and I really loved him in that movie. And Robert De Niro, Irishman. I don't know why he didn't show up here. I mean, this is like an obvious pick. I'm surprised they didn't go with him for that. And Jonathan Price for The Two Popes. I bet he's fine. I bet he is, but no one's ever gonna watch that movie. Um, so I don't like movies like The Two Popes. I mean, I haven't seen it, so I mean that's me being biased right there. But I think that I just I don't like the period piece obvious Oscar bait. That's just not my thing. And I'm assuming the movie's just not that all that interesting. But that is just me talking. So, uh, besides those, I think this was decent. Actor in a supporting role: Tom Hanks, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. I never saw it. I hear he was great. My family went to go see it. I never did, but I hear he's great. Anthony Hopkins, The Two Popes. Anthony Hopkins is a fantastic actor. Silence of the Lambs for sure. My favorite of his. Um, Al Pacino, The Irishman. Joe Pesci, The Irishman. Both of them are great in this. Al Pacino really shines. Joe Pesci, though, While he didn't really connect with me personally or emotionally, he definitely had something special about him in that movie. And I think if he won, especially this, I think he announced this is going to be his last movie he's ever doing. And so if he won an Oscar for that, I think that would be a great way to send off his career. But I'm assuming he's probably not going to win. The last one is Brad Pitt, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's an obvious one right there. He was great in it. Uh, he was really likable. This isn't exactly like a professional performance. It's just kind of more of a fun, laid back performance, but he's really great in it. And I wouldn't be mad that if he won it. Uh, Tom Hanks, I don't think is going to win. Anthony Hopkins probably won't. So I'm going to go with Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, or Brad Pitt. One of those three. But it's probably going to be Brad Pitt. Actress in the leading role, Cynthia Erivo. I hope I'm saying that right. Harriet. I saw Harriet. I really love that movie. I think she was great in it. And I think she's not going to win. But if she will, I will be very happy because I think she did deliver a very beautiful performance. And she didn't even say, she wasn't that like loud and outspoken of a character. She was very quiet. She would like think things over. And I really like that about how she played this character in this movie. Scarlett Johansson, Marriage Story. Obviously, one of the best performances I've probably ever seen. She's great in here. I think she definitely deserves a win. I don't think she's never been nominated before, and her getting nominated twice in 1 year, I think, is awesome. But I think if she doesn't win at all, I would be surprised. I think she deserves a win. I think this really was a good year for her. Saoirse Ronan, Little Woman. I never saw Little Woman. I almost did. I never did. Saoirse Ronan is a very talented actress, and I assume she did great. But there's not much else I can say about that. Charlize Theron, Bombshell, never saw it. Renee Zellweger, Judy, I never saw it either. So I don't have much to say. I would definitely go with either Cynthia Irvio. Sorry, I keep saying that wrong. I want her to win, and I want Scarlett Johansson to win, but I think Scarlett Johansson probably will win. Or Cerise Ronan. I'm not sure. I think this is a pretty difficult category. Actress in a supporting role, Kathy Bates, Richard Jewell. Laura Dern, Marriage Story, she was great in it. I loved her in that. Scarlett Johansson, Jojo Rabbit. Scarlett Johansson was awesome in this movie. She brought so much magic to the screen. I really liked her in this, but I can't really say she was in it that much to leave like this huge lasting impact. But she was really good in it. Florence Pugh, Little Woman. Never saw it. Margot Robbie, Bombshell. I think Margot Robbie's a fantastic actress, but I haven't seen the movie, so I wouldn't know. Kathy Bates. I really like Kathy Bates. I think she's a fantastic actress. Never saw Richard Jewell, so I didn't see a lot of movies this year, as you guys can tell. But Kathy Bates is a fantastic actress, and I think that would be a good win for her. But it's easily going to be Laura Dern. If it's not Laura Dern, I would go with Scarlett Johansson. Animated feature film, How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, I Lost My Body, Klaus, Missing Link, and Toy Story 4. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I never saw a single one of these. Saw Frozen 2, but that didn't get nominated. And I don't think it deserved a nomination either. I mean, it was a beautifully animated movie, but it lacked a story. So, but I think from what I've heard, I Lost My Body is by far the most unique out of all of these. Toy Story 4 would be a nice win, but it would probably be I Lost My Body. Cinematography, The Irishman. Let me get this straight. The Irishman has beautiful cinematography, but it's a really ugly looking movie. It's just really gray and depressing, and I don't like the look of it that much, but I do like the cinematography. I think it's a really nicely shot film. Joker. It's kind of standardly. It doesn't even look that great. I mean, it does, but it's not that great. The Lighthouse. I'm glad that one got recognition. That is a brilliantly shot film. 1917, Roger Deakins. Roger Deakins is probably the best cinematographer who ever lived. And so I would be a little sad if this. No, I would be very sad if this movie didn't even. I haven't even seen 1917, and I'm planning on seeing it soon. But if it doesn't win, that just doesn't make any sense. I don't know what they're gonna do if this movie loses because it deserves it. This movie's practically just one shot, and Roger Deakins is knows how to do. He knows how to work this thing. He knows how to make something beautiful, and he does that with pretty much every movie he's ever done. In 1917, from what I've seen from it, he clearly proves that. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's a really nicely shot movie. I don't think it deserves like nomination for best cinematography, but it is a nicely shot movie. I really like looking at that one. Costume design, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Woman, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Jojo Rabbit looks great. The costume design is beautiful, and that The Irishman as well. Uh, why did they? Why Joker? Come on, it's just people wearing suits. You can pretty much find that in like any movie. Whatever. Little Woman. I think Little Woman definitely deserves this one. Since it's a period piece, and period pieces almost always deserve this award. And if it doesn't get it, that's just very strange. But I think if I were to pick anything, I would go with Little Woman because Little Woman is by far the most periodic, if that makes sense. Uh, Jojo Rabbit as well, I think was very good. Directing, Martin Scorsese, The Irishman, Todd Todd Phillips, Joker, Sam Mendes, 1917, Quentin Tarantino, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Boon Joon Ho, Parasite. Uh, Martin Scorsese almost always gets nominated for Best Directing, and I feel like it should have been open for more people that should have a chance. And I think Greta Gerwig for Little Woman, as I never saw it, I think definitely giving that representation, I think she would definitely deserves a nomination for that. I don't know why she didn't get it. Uh, James Mangold, Ford v Ferrari, that movie did get a lot of nominations and did get nominated for Best Picture. So I don't know why it didn't get that many nominations. It got nominated for Best Picture. Why not give it a nomination for Best Director? Because I think this had beautiful direction. I think Ford v Ferrari was a very beautifully directed movie. Todd Phillips for Joker. Joker's fine. It is, but it's not Oscar worthy. Okay. Documentary feature. I never saw any of these. I'm not even going to go through them. Documentary short subject. Never saw any of those. Film editing. Ford v Ferrari. The Irishman. Jojo Rabbit. Joker. Parasite. Ford v Ferrari is a very beautifully edited movie. I'm surprised Marriage Story didn't get nominated. I think Marriage Story was a very beautifully edited movie, even though it was more quiet in how it was cut. But I think it's a very beautifully edited movie. The Irishman is actually really great in its editing as well. Uh, Jojo Rabbit is pretty good. Joker is just Parasite. Never saw it. I never saw it. I never saw Parasite. I was gonna go watch it, and then it didn't have English subtitles, so I didn't want to watch the whole thing. And what language is that? And whatever, it doesn't matter. Um, yeah, but I'm assuming Parasite was a very well edited film. International feature film. Corpus Christi, Honeyland, Les Miserables, Pain and Glory, and Parasite. I think Parasite has an easy win for this. Pain and Glory, I hear, is very good too. Uh, I think Les Miserables is a documentary, I believe. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I think I would definitely go with Parasite. No, it's definitely gonna be Parasite. What am I thinking? Makeup and Hairstyling, Bombshell, Joker, Judy, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, okay, 1917. Hmm, Bombshell? Yeah, I think I would go with Bombshell. Uh, I don't know why 19. Yeah. Um, Little Woman should have gotten a nomination. I think it definitely deserves that. I don't really have a preference, honestly. I don't even care that much about makeup and hairstyling. Joker, who cares? Music, original score, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, and Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Star Wars movies only get nominated because John Williams is behind it. If John Williams is not behind it, they don't nominate it. These movies never get nominated for anything besides visual effects, sound, and music, because really no one cares about those movies at this point. Uh, and they're just not Oscar worthy either. Uh, Joker actually did have a very unique score, so I would give it that. Never saw Little Women, so I don't know what it sounded like. Randy Newman for Marriage Story, though, he gives it a very nostalgic feel, a very childlike feel. Kind of reminds me of the theme for Forrest Gump. I mean, obviously he did Toy Story, so it reminds me of that as well. I think he definitely deserves that here, but I can't see that as a guarantee. Star Wars, I can see it, but probably not. I mean, it's the same. Why did they put it down for original score? They just played the same music in that one. That one was by far the least original when it came to its music. I mean, everything was exactly the same. They just changed a few notes. It was just trying to be nostalgic. Uh, I would go with Marriage Story for what I want. Joker, I think, was also very good, so I would go with that. Music original song. I Can't Let You Throw Yourself Away from Toy Story 4, Randy Newman. I'm Gonna Love Me Again from Rocket Man. I'm Standing With You, Breakthrough. Into the Unknown, Frozen 2. Stand Up, Harriet. Uh, I think I'm Gonna Love Me Again. That's a song I just listen to on repeat all the time. Anyway, uh, I'm Gonna Love Me Again. I love that song. I think it has a great message. It's beautiful. Elton John, Bernie Taupin did it. So I think it's a really good win because I think that movie deserves something. I love that movie. I think it's great, and I think it deserves some recognition. Into the Unknown. It's a it's a good song, but I think Stand Up from Harriet was actually something that should get a little more recognition. And I think it was a very powerful song, and I think that definitely deserves. Uh, it would deserve a win. And I would be surprised if it did, but it's not going to win it. And so I would probably go with I'm Gonna Love Me Again, or Into the Unknown, maybe, whatever. Production design: The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasite. Uh, Probably 1917. I would go with that. The Irishman was actually, yeah, I would go with The Irishman. Jojo Rabbit also was a very beautiful movie. It was very colorful, very bright. 1917, though, I would probably go with that. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood does have very good production design as well, but I would probably go with 1917 or The Irishman. Short film anime, never saw any of them. Short film live action, never seen any of them. Sound editing, Ford v Ferrari, Joker, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Uh, why Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Whatever. I think Ford v Ferrari was very good. Joker's all right. Um, Probably 1917 actually. Yeah, since it's a war movie, I think those definitely deserve that. Sound mixing, Ad Astra. I'm surprised that even got on there. It didn't get anything else. That's kind of strange that it just randomly shows up. Ford v Ferrari, Joker, 1917, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I don't know why Once Upon a Time is getting all this stuff. sound mixing, uh, Ford v Ferrari probably, but 1917, I would go with that. Visual effects: Avengers: Endgame, The Irishman, The Lion King, 1917, and Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. I'd go with. I mean, I want Avengers: Endgame to win because it hasn't gotten any other recognition. Um, The Irishman had very good de-aging, so that was good. Uh, 1917 was also out. No, I'd go with Avengers: Endgame or The Irishman. Yeah. Writing adapted screenplay: The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Woman, The Two Popes. Why the Two Popes? Okay. Uh, I would go with Jojo Rabbit. Actually, I think that does work pretty well. But Little Woman also is a very popular book, and I think that would work very well. Writing original screenplay: Knives Out, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. Parasite, actually, that I do like that concept a lot, and I think that would be a very uh, interesting win. Knives Out, I think definitely should have got a lot more recognition. I think that was a wonderful movie, and the screenplay for that just worked out very well. I really liked it. Um, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood does have a very good script. I'm not going to lie about that. Even though I think it got a little too much attention this year, it was a very good movie. I think Parasite would be a good win. I think Knives Out should win, but it's probably not going to. Anyway, let me get down to the very last one. Best Picture: Ford v Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Woman, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. Uh, Ford v Ferrari, I'm really surprised got this nomination because it didn't really get nominated for anything else, so I didn't think that was allowed. But Ford v Ferrari was very good. I really loved it, but it's not getting the win, and I don't want it to win. The Irishman, I think, would be a very good win. Doesn't have as much of a chance, but I think it would be a good win. Jojo Rabbit, I really like that. Joker will probably get the win, but I don't want it to. Little Woman would work, but no. Marriage Story. Marriage Story was a masterpiece. I love Marriage Story, and I think that would be a wonderful movie to win for Best Picture. It probably won't though. 1917 has a very great chance. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood also has a really big chance, just because of all the love it got this year. And Parasite would be a nice one, but it's probably not happening. So I would either go with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Irishman, or Marriage Story. I think that's it. Um, that was interesting. I think this was a great year for movies. These past years have not been very good. There have been a lot of snubs the past year. And this one, there were snubs, but I think for the most part, this was generally a very good year. And I am very proud that some things got recognized. I think Rocketman deserved a lot more recognition. I just think Harriet deserved a lot more recognition. But besides that, I think this was a very good year. And I'm really excited to see what all these directors come up with next. And I'm interested to see what these wins will be. I mean, it's very predictable on what will win, but if we get some surprises, that would be really cool. That's it. Those are all my thoughts. Please let me please let me know what you think. And this is Ethan Butler, and I'm out.